students, welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. I am Sharon Stanley, Assistant Professor, PG Department of English, Don Bosco College, Kottayam. This is Lecture 8 of the paper Creative Writing. In this lecture, I discuss the basic features of a short story. Now I discuss 5 important features: length of a short story, scenes, characters, structure, and point of view. Let's discuss the first point, length of a short story. As brevity is the soul of wit, a short story may have approximately 3,000 to 6,000 words. But there are short stories which are written within 1,000 words. It is to be noted that if brevity is to be maintained effectively, the writer must have absolute mastery over language and complete control over situations. The short story should be so compact that not even a single word can be added to or deleted from it without disrupting the smooth flow of narration. Next point, scenes. In short stories, in the place of scenic descriptions, the writers resort to the presentation of locales that are familiar to the readers. Example, hotels, motels, station restaurants, food courts, wayside catering units, etc. Now let's discuss the feature, characters. In a short story, there are obviously lesser characters than say a novel would have. On an average, 3 to 6 characters. And each of the characters plays a pivotal role in the unfolding of the story. Here, a comprehensive delineation or portrayal of character is almost impossible. The writer would focus on a psychological moment in the life of a character, a situation that is insignificant, or an experience which is exhilarating or traumatic. The incidents depicted may be confined to the character's childhood, youth, or old age. Thus, the short story focuses on a significant moment in the life of a character. Next, structure. In a short story, the writer is bound by time and space. In it, there may not be a well-defined beginning, middle, or end. Very often, the reader will have to depend on the cues provided in the story by the writer. There might be unexpected twists and turns, ironical reversal, and revelatory moments in the story. Next, point of view. It is a distinctive perspective of the writer and the angle from which he or she observes reality. The narrator thus becomes important. The reader should try to understand the ethical or political stance taken by the writer through his or her narrator. There are 3 ways of narrating a story. First person narrative. Here, the narrator identifies himself with the protagonist. The voice of the protagonist is the same as that of a narrator. The idea is conveyed through the use of the pronouns I or we. This method is best made use of by writers who attach great significance to economy and brevity. But the limitation of the method is that the reader would be exposed only to what the narrator knows. The major advantage of the method is the character attains credibility, for the reader feels that the narrator is relating his or her own lived experience. Next, third person narrative. Here, the narrator is the author himself, someone outside the story. He or she is known as the omniscient narrator. He, she, or they are the pronouns used here. Here, the author enjoys unlimited freedom to intervene, interpret, and evaluate the responses and reactions of the other characters. The method lends freedom to the author to follow one character closely and ignore another. Here, the author can move backward and forward in time and space, assuming any perspective that he or she wants to take up. Thus, the enormous flexibility offered by the method makes room for authorial comments on characters and situations. This is the most popular narrative method employed by a majority of writers. Next, second person narrator. This point of view is not very common among the writers. Curiously enough, some of the 20th century writers have employed this form of narrative. Here, the pronoun used is you. My dear students, I hope you understand this lecture. Please write the assignment. Write the important features of a short story. Thank you.